Tonight, what to do on Canada Day long weekend.
Our first 500 guests are getting a free Little Canada flag pin. We also have a Canada Day edition scavenger hunt.
After 2 years of pandemic restrictions, festivities and in-person celebrations are back in a big way. If you're still looking for things to do on Canada Day, we've got you covered. Plus,
it is our top priority, the public safety.
Fireworks are returning to Ashbridges Bay for Canada Day. Police reassuring the public they have a plan in place to prevent a repeat of the violence we saw during the Victoria Day long weekend. And
it means I can afford to drive to work, finally.
Gas prices are set to drop sharply overnight with another dip later this weekend. But the relief still just temporary, and it has the Premier calling on the feds to do more to help. Good evening, I'm Kelda Yoon. Canada Day is tomorrow, and this year's celebrations are expected to be big after the past 2 years were marred by pandemic restrictions. Now, around the GTA, there's lots to do. To help sort us through some of the festivities, let's go now to Dale Manuktuk joining us live from Mel Lastman Square. And Dale, what can people expect there tomorrow?
Well, first of all, Kelda, the party's already started. There's live music happening here and people dancing, but Mel Lastman Square will be hosting Canada Day programming tomorrow from 2 to 10 p.m. with live music, dance performances, and family fun activities culminating in fireworks. Now, I won't be able to make it. I have fam jams in both Whitby and Markham, but this isn't about me. Let's get back to helping our viewers.
What are you doing for Canada Day? For the first time in a few years, everything is open, tons of options. So if you're in Toronto, we have a few ideas for you. The first, let's check out Little Canada.
Located on the northeast corner of Yonge Dundas Square, Little Canada is 10 years in the making and still going.
We're going down 2 escalators to Little Canada.
Over 200 investors have financed the attraction to the tune of $24 million.
I guess this is the official welcome to Little Canada. So for Canada Day, our first 500 guests are getting a free Little Canada flag pin. We also have a Canada Day edition scavenger hunt.
Guests can search through Little Niagara or check out the ball game at the retractable roof Rogers Center. There's a lot to see in Little Canada. You could even see yourself.
So the little me is essentially you. Little eyes. So being little eyes is the gigantic process of getting shrunk down into a 3/4 inch person.
Their Littleization station has 128 cameras. It takes 2 weeks to make a miniature you, or even your dog. And that figurine will live in Little Canada forever. The attraction is still working on the East Coast, which will roll out in the coming years.
Now, one thing that Little Canada doesn't have is a Little Ontario place. For that, you're going to have to come to the real thing. And if you do tomorrow, you'll get treated to a host of Indigenous programming, including musicians and artists.
It's not a celebration for everybody, but out of respect for that, we wanted to share Indigenous culture with our visitors here at Ontario Place, and we had a number of artists who wanted to join us on that journey.
Highlights include giant moccasins carved into the Trillium Park entranceway and the 1,000 Faces installation that reflects and is meant to encourage you to take a moment to reflect. Beyond that, there is still much more for people to do.
We've basically just been told that Toronto Island is the place to go. So we're excited to, go explore there.
Barbecue with family and everything, yeah.
We have some visitors coming from Ireland, so probably might have a beverage.
For Canada Day, I think I'm going to head down to Woodbine Park. They got fireworks, they got a whole lot going on.
Now, with all of the festivities come road closures. We know this, so Yonge Street will be closed from Parkholme Avenue to North York Boulevard from noon until midnight. And for a full list of all the attractions, what's open, what's closed, you can head on over to cbc.ca. Kelda?
All right, have fun at your fam jams tomorrow. Thanks so much, Dale. And you can also catch a fireworks show at Ashbridges Bay tomorrow night, but there are some concerns about public safety in the area after the violence that took place last long weekend. As Clara Pasica reports, it's something police say they are prepared for.
For the first time since 2019, the boardwalk and beach near Ashbridges Bay will fill with crowds for Canada Day fireworks. But while some can't wait for the sky to light up on Friday,
I'm pretty excited because it will be my first Canada Day here in Canada. Yeah, so I'm very excited about it. And I heard about it, like the fireworks, and I think I'm planning coming with my friends.
I think people should enjoy. I mean, it's summertime. We are post-COVID, right? So just come by and enjoy it.
There are also concerns about violence. On Victoria Day weekend, police arrested more than 20 people after a shooting, a stabbing, gunpoint robberies, and people setting off fireworks into crowds. Police say 7 officers were injured, including one that broke a leg.
I'm typically down here, but I don't know. It's the scene is not the best. The fireworks are terrific. I've gone out and looked at them. I've watched them for years, but I don't know. I don't like what's been going on here. There seems to be some people who are bored and who have been locked down for too long, and they're looking for something to relieve their frustration, but that's not a good idea. And certain people shooting fireworks at each other doesn't sound like a really good idea either, so I might just skip it.
Beaches East York councillor Brad Bradford says he heard those concerns from residents after last long weekend, but after talking about them with Chief Raymer, he's now eager to see this weekend's safety plan rolled out. One Toronto police say will span multiple days.
We will have additional police resources. We'll have officers in a number of different medium, walking, riding bicycles, in cars on patrol, on horseback, maybe even some ATVs. We will have officers that will have body-worn cameras. Remind people that in the area there are quite a number of cameras operated by the city. We also have the ability to mobilize cameras to deal with criminal investigations.
Police are also reminding people setting off personal fireworks in a park or at the beach is prohibited, and are encouraging people to take the TTC. Clara Pasica, CBC News, Toronto.
Ottawa is gearing up for the return of in-person Canada Day celebrations tomorrow. The city also bracing for the return of protesters. This year, festivities will move mostly away from Parliament Hill to other nearby locations because of construction. Road restrictions went into effect for much of the downtown area yesterday, with no street parking or protest vehicles allowed until Monday morning. Police presence and security are being stepped up this year. Ottawa City Police say they're prepared to respond to any illegal activity quickly. And officials say there are plans in place to shut down any possible unlawful protests, like the one that occupied the downtown core for weeks this winter. All right, let's go to Kim McDonald from the Weather Network with a first look at your forecast. And Kim, a gorgeous day as we head into the Canada Day long weekend.
Kelda, what a way to end June, right? What a beautiful day. End of the month, end of the week. Short week, and end of the school year too. So yeah, lots of fun. Temperatures still warm through the overnight, a clear sky with just a few clouds. We're going to see those clouds start to build though, because Friday and July coming in with a bang. I know it's Canada Day and it's not just our fireworks. Mother Nature's fireworks too. We'll see a little bit of that. So there's your morning temperature, low 20s around the GTA. But we can see on the radar, we're watching this. So these are storms being fired up thanks to a cold front, and it is descending south through the overnight. This is our risk map for thunderstorms, widespread. You can see from Ontario all the way through to Quebec. The areas in orange have the better chance of seeing severe weather, so that doesn't include the GTA. But we could get a couple of rounds before it's all said and done. So it's one of those days you'll just have to keep an eye on the sky. I'll be back later.
Thanks so much, Kim. Gas prices are set to drop sharply overnight. It's in part due to a tax cut by the province, but that's only temporary. And the Premier is calling on the federal government to do more to help bring long-term relief. Lorena Redekop has the story.
As of tomorrow, expect that number to drop by 11 cents. Some people at the pumps this morning couldn't believe their bad timing.
I might just get myself to work and then wait till it drops and then fill up then. Okay, good plan.
So I'm fueling up at the wrong time. I have no choice. I waited, I procrastinated, and I waited to the last second.
Doesn't make any difference because next day it may go up like 50 cents. We cannot guess anything.
But one gas price watcher says the cost per liter is set to dip again later this weekend.
I think this is a bit of a break. This is sort of the eye of the storm, if you will.
The reasons, in part, due to supply and foreign markets. Though almost half of the price cut coming tonight, 5.7 cents, is the Ford government's promised tax relief for 6 months.
I think July and August are going to see prices go right back up to $2.10, maybe even $2.20 a litre, despite what the provincial government has done here.
Today, the Premier filled up in a photo op, asked whether the tax cut could become permanent.
We'll look at it, but I really want to ask the federal government, I implore them to do the same thing. There's 11 cents of the carbon tax.
That tax is long hated by Doug Ford. His government fought it and lost at the Supreme Court. It puts a price on carbon to curb greenhouse gas emissions, and Ontarians get a rebate for it.
That'd be huge savings, and they can do it temporarily. I get it. If they want to just do it through the peak areas of the summer or up to the end of the year.
The federal finance minister visited an auto parts plant, highlighting her government's previously announced affordability measures. No surprise, she won't take Ford up on his idea.
The most effective mechanism to accomplish that green transition is a price on carbon. It's a market mechanism that really works.
Though she said more federal help could be coming for people, given increasing prices at the gas station and the grocery store.
We're open to additional measures going forward, should that be necessary.
As for where gas prices could be headed for the rest of the long weekend, Dan McTague expects them to go down another 6 cents on Saturday. So that 11-cent drop sounds pretty good, but even better if you can hold off for an extra day. They'll be down to $1.87.9 a litre. Lorenda Reddick-Hopp, CBC News, Toronto.
Lots of giddy students when the bell rang this afternoon, signaling the end of their school year and the start of their summer break. Jessica Ng shows us what the last day of class looked like.
The grade 8 class at Rollinson Community School was ushered into the summer and graduation with a flurry of applause. Amongst the crowd, Carlos Montoya.
This year was definitely the greatest year I've had here. But last year was a bit up and down, because it was online, offline.
He's just as happy as his dad. He says his son found schooling through the pandemic did have an upside.
Silver lining of being in school is that he was able to ask questions nonstop.
Preparing him for the next year at a new school. Other parents also recognizing the importance of this well-awaited moment after 2 years of pandemic lockdowns and continued uncertainty.
It really kind of marks the occasion and tells them that they're special and that this is a really important turning point in their lives.
But before then, big plans under the summer sun.
He got involved with a summer camp that is overnight, that is only beginning for musicians, and he's loving it.
I'm playing basketball in Kentucky and also planning to spend a lot more time with my family.
Going down a big slide.
Education Minister Stephen Lecce says the ministry is looking ahead to September. In preparation, they've set up the most summer learning offerings in the province's history.
$175 million tutoring program, all designed with one mission, which is to get these kids back on track.
As for when books and classes reopen in the fall,
our priority is getting children back into schools full-time, in person, without those disruptions.
A feeling echoed by students like Carlos.
Of course, I have a lot of good memories here, but it feels to finally be done with it and, start, I guess, fresh again.
Hoping, like many, the lockdowns and pauses due to the pandemic are left in the history books. Jessica Ng, CBC News, Toronto.
3, 2, 1.
There's so many people in a city of 3 million people, very few have access to a cottage or even to their own place to swim or just to sort of chill out during the summer days. And so it's an important day when we can come forward as we are today to officially open these pools.
Just in time for the summer break, the city's 54 pools are now open beyond evenings and weekends. 85 waiting pools are also open until Labor Day. The big change this year, reservations aren't needed for recreational swimming. You can check the hours for your local pool at toronto.ca/swim. Welcome back. The Toronto Maple Leafs have announced the death of Jim Pappen, one of the team's legendary players.
The line to Pappen, closing in. Pappen goes to the wing, centered it. He scores!
That was Papin scoring the Stanley Cup winning goal for the Leafs in 1967 against Montreal. The team confirming his death yesterday on Twitter. He played 5 seasons in Toronto and was part of 2 Cup-winning teams. Papin was also the Leafs' leading scorer in the 67 season. He was later named one of the 100 greatest Leafs. Jim Papin was 82 years old. Canada's airports and airlines have been in crisis mode for weeks, unable to meet the travel demand now that COVID restrictions are easing. This long weekend is expected to be the busiest so far this year, making the situation even worse. Nisha Patel has more from Pearson Airport.
It's shaping up to be the summer of discontent for air travelers.
This is the absolute worst experience anywhere on the planet that I've been.
There just hasn't been a level of preparedness.
If you have to find your connection or get rebooked for another flight, there's nothing to help anybody.
At major airports across the country, travelers report long lineups, canceled flights, and luggage that's been lost for days.
Try to talk to staff. No one has any answers. I talk to one person, I get sent to another. That person will send me to another. It's just a complete mess.
Ali Padania and his parents were trying to get to Dallas for a family wedding. 2 hours before takeoff, their flight was canceled. Now they've lost money, but also memories.
My family and I, we've been awake for over 24 hours. At this point, we should have just drove to Dallas instead of taking the flight.
Air travel ground to a halt during the pandemic. Now demand is surging, and airlines and airports haven't kept up. Air Canada said it will cancel about 15% of its flights in July and August. WestJet says it cut capacity proactively, operating 21% fewer flights in July this year compared to 2019.
Lost luggage and canceled flights have been a big problem here in Canada, but also at airports around the world.
Many American airlines are cutting flights and canceling change fees amid the disruptions, and strikes and staff shortages have caused major issues at many European airports. But travel experts warn that for canceled flights, travelers should be compensated.
The airline is absolutely obliged to pay for any accommodation, any incidentals, and compensation for being late.
Experts say it will take time for air travel to normalize. So when it comes to taking a trip this summer, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Nisha Patel, CBC News, Toronto.
Let's go back to Kim McDonald now from the Weather Network. And Kim, for those celebrating outdoors tomorrow, an umbrella would probably be a good idea.
Kelda, I wish we could pick when we get our rain. It wouldn't be on Canada Day. I know so many people are going to be outside. Temperature-wise, our normal is 25.8. We're looking at a high of 29. Our record is 35.6 degrees. That was way back in 1963. There will be plenty of hours during the day without any thunderstorm activity, so you can get outside. It's just one of those days. Keep an eye, right? Pay attention to the app in case you do have a severe thunderstorm warning. But right now we're looking at temperatures above seasonal. 29 degrees will feel like 34. Yes, we've got a lot of humidity. This illustrates all of the moisture in the atmosphere. There's the cold front cutting into that, and that clash of cooler air, not particularly cold air this time of year, but cooler air with that hot, moist, buoyant air is what will trigger the thunderstorms. So we could get around early in the afternoon and then a break and then another round into the evening hours. So 29 degrees for a high, 25 degrees for the evening hours when many people will be outside, I think, checking out the fireworks. I'm hoping that they will go without any problems and that the weather will not be a deterrent. The weekend, after we get beyond Friday, is looking actually quite lovely. Calmer conditions, lots of sunshine. This is hours of sunlight in the long-range forecast, and you can see we have plenty. Tuesday will be the next chance of seeing any kind of precipitation. So the winds not that strong, 30 to 40 kilometers, so certainly breezy. This is the big picture look at this. There's the front. Along that cold front is where we are getting our storms potentially. And another look at it here. I know you're like, Kim, enough already. So we could see some pop-up severe storms, but we're looking at, for the most part, non-severe. And as I mentioned, once we get beyond Friday, things are looking so much more pleasant, and it's not until Tuesday that we see showers.
Finally tonight, for many students, it's been a tough couple of years, which makes this next accomplishment even more impressive. David Zhuang graduated from Brampton's Harold M. Brathwaite Secondary School this week with a perfect score in 6 subjects. We went to his graduation ceremony to learn more about his accomplishments and what he plans for the future.
David Zhuang.
Plans for the future.
David Zhuang.
I feel great. I feel like it's a book kind of my life, and I'm writing the next chapter. I'm so excited for the future. Hi, my name is David Zhuang, and I'm a student at Harold M. Brathwaite. In high school, specifically in grade 12, I achieved a 100% average. So that's my top 6. I got 100% in every subject. I got 100% in business management, 100% in English, 100% in biology, and 100% in chemistry. And I also had 100% in advanced functions and 100% in calculus from a different semester. At first, I was very surprised, and I was extremely happy to see that my hard work had paid off. And it was also amazing to see my dreams turn into reality.
Congratulations, HB class of 2022. When he came into my office and said, Miss Gale, guess what? I 100% to know 6 top credits. I was like, wow, sit down, let's have a chat. Told me that from grade 9. He wanted to get here, and he's going to work towards it. And I was so proud that you set your goals, and they were very high, but guess what? You achieved them. Now, this is not the only time you've done that, but he's in the International Baccalaureate program that actually challenges students to be critical about their lives, their education, and be a global citizen in everything that they do. And so he has checked off every single box so far.
And that's the program. Learning exactly motivates me. I love everything about learning, whether that's English or calculus. I feel like that mindset of actually enjoying what was being taught has really motivated me to learn more and be successful in school. In the future, I'm attending the University of Waterloo for computer science, and I plan on becoming a software engineer. And I also know for sure that I want to use programming to better the lives of people around the world, because I've always wanted to combine my passions of programming with solving world issues to help others.
I'm telling you, big things yet to come for him.
And a quick programming note before we go. CBC has live coverage of Canada Day celebrations beginning tomorrow at 11 a.m. It's the first public celebration in the capital since 2019. Vasha Capellos will host CBC coverage of the ceremony to celebrate Canada's 155th birthday. You can watch it on CBC News Network, CBC TV, or stream it on CBC Gem. And that is our show for you tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Canada Day and have a great long weekend, everyone.